Pratibha Tiwari. Thank you for being here. You are a HR professional with formal training in computer applications and business administration, and you're also a motivational speaker, among other things. What are some of the creative approaches that you use for human resources?
Thank you so much for inviting, first of all, TR. And I am amazed to be in this show. So, if I talking about creative processes, so human resource is all about being creative and being motivated to everyone because that's the center of operation where every we are responsible for employees' queries and handling everything. So I'm part of a company called SimCorp, and I have more than 9 years of experience into the same industry, which involves all HR operations and employee queries, employee engagement, and recruitment, onboarding, documentation, etc. So every time we have to be advance ourselves on the processes that we are doing already, and we have to look for the way that if it is manual we have to be automate few things, if it is repetitive we have to be and automate again to make the redundancy lower, and also have to work smartly to handle the things in a better way. So creativity is more main important part of every aspects of being in human resource industry, whether it is your normal processes that you're working on, including your documentations, hiring, onboarding, etc. But in terms of employee engagement, in terms of the activities that learning and development, and in the events and activities that you do, because you can't do it same thing again and again. So the creativity is main thing that we have to think and evolve every time what we do.
Do you do, or are you involved in interviews for new employees?
Uh, Previously I was, but right now I am involved starting from hiring. So taking inductions, scheduling, and taking one-on-one and employee engagements, drafting contracts, sharing, completing the files, everything. So these
What
all are the area.
What are some ways that through HR that you try to identify individuals that can think creatively, or is that something you're looking for?
Yeah. So first thing that we have to be very specific about the thing that we are doing, and when we start the things we look for improvement in that, and we take the suggestions, we take the feedback from other people as well, and we have the team who are working globally. Sometimes we meet up, we collect ideas that how it is looking, how we can make it better, and sometimes we start working on projects also that how we can improve the processes. So I would say that for creative, how do we look for it, is about gathering feedback from respective people, or looking out in the industry that how other people are doing and how we are doing, how we can majorly we focus on engagement, that how we engage the people who are going to join us, and they should feel welcome, they should feel their home when they come to company, it should be friendly, and they should not be like look a stranger, but look like that they know everything and person is familiar, we assign buddy, we make them comfortable. So we try every best possible way to engage the employee from very first day, and even we try to do it before joining also, so that they know the culture, they know the employee who are they going to join, and they know the manager, so that they would not hesitate to come on first day.
Okay. With your motivational speaking part, how did you get into that?
So it's like it's one of my interest area, and I would say that I'm continuously improving on it, because since quite few years, I would say that I realized that I want to go into that direction, and then I have started. I do not have any experience or something. I am very, you would say, introvert kind of person, that I don't talk so much to the people, and but I like to. But it's like kind of inner fear that I had, that I don't talk, what other people will think about me if I say something. But since I realized that it is my one of the interest area, and I really like to develop into that direction, and also it will help me with my professional career as well as my personal development. So then I started with first where I started firstly was one of my podcasts from Spring Works, and it was also related to HR processes and everything. So that was my first podcast, and then after I explored myself on LinkedIn writing articles, writing some of the experience that I went through from childhood, from my experience, and how it creates learning in the future and in current way. So that way, little by little, step by step, I'm improving into it, and I'm trying to develop more in that area.
Okay. Yeah. The anything that helps you communicate with people is probably going to help in just about every professional career I can think of. It's any career, really.
It's like being in human resource. It's kind of that you have to, you're kind of person that should be ready to help, and people who succeed into this is that you are open to everyone, you are answerable, you should be able to answer everyone, and you're ready to help. That's the main thing. So, if I talk about the career that where you like to help, or generally people can think of, so I mean, we are one of the sector, we are one of the department that people think when they find any issues, that we are go-to person, that if they have any query. So obviously, I mean, they would think of ourselves, and we definitely like to help people. That is why we are approachable, and being open and kind, then you would be able to communicate, and people will share their problems with you. So that is what I would say, that when you are open, when you're open to help, when you are open to listen others problem, you will be able to communicate better with everyone, and other person will also feel comfortable to talk to you. So that way
Agree.
you can improve.
How do you how'd you pick your topics for your speaking? Do you have like a training that you've gone to? Like I took a speech class in college and it was a pretty great class because it taught you how to do basically it was just 5-minute speeches. You did like maybe 10 of them in a semester, but it was good to have a crowd that was also learning to do public speaking, and then to have a teacher that wasn't afraid to interrupt you while you're talking if you're messing up. So hopefully progressively as you get through the class and you're doing speech after speech, that the instructor has to interrupt you less because you're getting better. But it was a great class, one of the first ones I took when I was in college. And I think it's probably a good class to take as a refresher every few years, or to do something like Toastmasters, or if you're just training somewhere. My big thing was, if I'm in a class, how can I get the message across? Or if I'm doing some sort of public speaking topic, how can I get the message across, but also be somewhat entertaining to where the person doesn't, or the crowd doesn't fall asleep, or not pay attention to what you're saying. So got to go with the length of time and then be interesting, because I've been in a bunch of classes or a bunch of places where there's people speaking and you think, how could I do this better? So what are the roads that you took to pick your topics, and how do you perfect doing the public speaking?
Yes. So initially, I explored so many things that where do I start? Where do I start? And I thought about courses. I thought about programs I should attend. I thought about taking trainings and something. I explored multiple things, but then I explored myself first. That uh, and focused on self improvement, because one of the initial opportunity I got on about the podcast on HR industry only, and I prepared about that, and it went well. So there I got the confidence that yes, I can do better in this way, and it needs self learning, because now I have gained the experience into the this interview and recruitment, onboarding, etc. I take the induction, and somewhere I feel that I'm good at reading people and judging, and I mean understanding the people emotionally. So there I feel that it's best way to communicate is through emotions, and you and through story. So every topic that you put, like that I have picked up in my past, is based on my experience that I somewhere I had in my mind that it happened to me, but what is the learning out of it, what is the peak point, and how it, like, what happened in the past, how we can create learning out of that in future. So my topics are somewhere related to that only, across my all the articles. And I also take the sessions, career session, career counselings, and interview preparations. And they're on pre-placed and top made platform, where people can book me and take the guidance if they are facing any issue related to interview preparation, cracking the jobs interviews, finding the right opportunity, what should do they do into their future career. So there I provide counseling by understanding their problems, their issues based on their current scenarios and the um, the background they have. So there I understand people in that way, and by talking to them, by listening to them, by understanding their problem and advising them, it create a lot of stories out of that. So picking a topic is like, first you have to explore yourself, you have to know most of the things about you, and then about the word, about the industry. You have to be open to gain the knowledge, to receive the knowledge from other side as well. When you know that what things going on around you, then you can relate to it, you can absorb it and talk about it to others.
How do you, if you have a public speaking engagement coming up, what are some of the things that you do to prepare for it, besides, um, researching the topic and practicing the speech? How do you prepare for a public speaking event?
Yeah, so there, as you said, that practicing a speech, searching for the topics, these are some general things that everyone do. You have to be prepared about yourself so that you're confident, and you have to be sure about your body postures, some of the mental thoughts that can distract you. Besides that, these all things are normal that you have to prepare. But again, how you, if you have some topics, how you are preparing through stories, that's the major thing that I thought of. How you're connecting yourself to the topic, have you gone through something in your experience that you can relate to the topic and create a story and interest the audience, create some questions that can engage the audience. So it's a two-way communication. It's just not, it should not be like you're just talking and talking and everyone other is listening and then they will fall asleep after some time. So you also need to make sure that you're engaging with them, you're talking with them, and like some filler questions should be there so that they are able to engage, they are able to talk, they get the opportunity that they are being heard and they are understanding you through some general story from your past, or through some common scenarios that you have heard or seen, which can relate the audience as well, not only to you but to your audience also, so that they also feel that yes, this happened to me, this happens to this person, and this is the real ground.
Hmm. When you prepare for it, do you use like a speech that's written out word for word, or do you use an outline? Do you have note cards with key phrases? So if you've practiced it enough that you know what you're going to do and it's conversational, so it doesn't look like you're reading, do you have something where if you just lose your train of thought, you can pick it back up through looking at a word or a statement?
Yeah, I always write key phrases and topics, the main headings, so that if I lose somewhere, I can pick that topic. And by looking at that, I would retrain myself on that topic that, yes, that I have to talk about this. So I always written down few of the main topics, few of the main key phrases that I have to start with, that I have to go one by one, or I have to pick up anywhere where I want. So it should not be like written speech or full paragraph. It's like one of the word that can explain, or maybe just for your reference that you can memorize through that word that I outline.
How often do you find that when you're done, you've given the speech that you wanted to? Like, I think I've read it in a speech book or a public speaking book that talked about there's different types of speeches. There's the one you envision yourself giving, the one you prepare to give, the one you actually give. How many times do you finish and think that went just how I planned it?
Yes. So every time when I am prepared about this topic that I'm going to present, I have practiced it, I have thought about it, that I'm presenting this topic. So if I have prepared well about it, definitely when I finish, I feel accomplished that yes, it went well the way I have thought. But when I am not prepared, I think that no, it's a normal topic. I can be able to do it, and it's like it's easy peasy. It doesn't need any preparation. Then sometime it get messed up. So whatever, I mean, even if it's little, if you feel it easy peasy, just have something in your mind so that you can pick it up during your presentation, during your speech, when you're delivering that. Whenever your thoughts get lost, you would be able to recall something in your mind when whatever you have prepared for.
Hmm. How do you tell after you're done a speech if, like, what kind of indicators do you use for being able to say that went well? Like, to to have a good speech, what are you looking for at the end to think it was a good speech?
So self awareness is very important thing, and no one can judge you better than you. So that's what I believe. So, and when at the end of any discussion um, that I am finished with, I know that how it went well. And if I am able to answer everything that is being asked, or whatever I have prepared, I have delivered it in very interesting way without being stuck somewhere, without being lost in thought, without being like, what should I say? So if I was fully confident during my whole discussion, and I deliver all of my thoughts, then I feel that sense that yes, I did well. And it also reflects in your audience eyes and audience, when whoever cheering you, so they, you can see on their face that how your discussion is going, and at the end of the day how it went well.
Mm. Do you have a parts set up in what you're talking about where if the person that went before you or whatever for whatever reason the time you have to speak gets reduced, that you can quickly reduce what you were going to plan to say, so you have like a short version of what you're going to say and then your normal version of it? Do you routinely put things in like that where you can think, okay, I can drop this off if I need to?
Um, I'm taking it up like this, that if sometime I prepared for something and the person delivered the speech and delivered the topic before me talk similar or maybe
Mm.
relative. So then I feel that, but it opens up the ideas also for me, that this aspects he have talked about, but it also trigger the branches. So then it opens my mind up that this is what being discussed, but now this aspects are left which I can talk about. So then I prepare myself accordingly, that I should be touching the topics base. Sometimes I can refer that other person have talked, that just like this person has talked, but this is also the aspect that we should look after and we can consider of. And considering the time limitations, I generally like pick the main important thing which can relate the audience. So optimizing time based on the topics, based on the discussion which is being revealed, and the unheard aspects I can
Mm.
discover.
That's good. That's good. Do you think that it's good to start a speech or a public talk with a joke, or do you just get right into it, or does it depend on the scenario?
It depends on your audience, I would say, where you are presenting, who are in the forum. So if you're presenting to students, you should be start with joke. If you're presenting to the audience like mid or senior level, you should be starting with scenarios. So I would say that firstly, you should be aware about your audience, that who are you going to present, and prepare your openings relatively to that, and this will help you to engage better.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. It's also, it does help if you're speaking at an event or there's multiple speakers to be able to listen to at least some, if not all, of the speaker before you or whatever's going on in that before you. So you get a feel for the audience maybe already.
Yeah.
And it's tough if you have to go up with a topic that's after one that maybe was sad or emotional, and then you're coming in on a different topic. How would you deal with that?
So firstly, you have to make ground about you. So you just can't switch 1 to 10, but you have to prepare a ground. So you have to, I mean, the topics that were going through before, you have to take about, like, you have to take a bit different, slowly and steadily. So it's not that someone was giving small emotional speech and then you come and then you start cracking a joke. It should not be. So firstly, you have to create a reference, that whatever being delivered before, take some talk about something, so that it, and let them overcome by that, from that. So if it is emotional, just like you referred it, so if it is emotional, just take just talk a little bit about it, take some learnings, that how you can utilize to make it better, to make things better for the audience, and then steadily convert it to your topic.
Hmm. What That's good. I like that. Ease into it. What are some of the ways you deal with stress before you talk? Like, if I think it's natural for people to get a little nervous before they go talk to somebody, no matter how many, before you make a speech in front of a crowd. Maybe depending on the size, maybe the bigger the crowd, the more nerves, maybe. But what are some of the ways that you deal with that?
Yes, so it's a very common thing, and even the person have delivered so many speeches and have good confidence, they also get nervous at the start. But when you are prepared well, you will have the confidence to deliver. But by seeing the crowd, you may feel nervous, and there are some common practices that you should be starting with, like taking deep breath, taking some few like little glass of water. Make yourself comfortable that you belong to this place. So first important thing, that you make yourself belong to the stage that you're standing to. Look at the audience, make yourself comfortable, and then start talking and feel that this is your home. So it's always says that like you have to do mirror practicing, but and you can do a recording practicing. But many think that one of the sayings says that you can do a practicing without mirror and without recording, considering that you are in front of your audience. And this will give you a confidence that when you are in the stage, you feel the same that you were in front of your audience and delivering the same, because you already have delivered this speech before in your
Hmm.
mind that you are in front of your audience. So it's like practicing, but again you need practice in a better effective way so that you feel confidence and take some techniques to make yourself comfortable to the stage.
Very nice. Very nice. Some of the best advice I got with doing public speaking was don't tell the audience that you're nervous.
Yeah,
Just go. Don't
yeah.
make it a bigger deal or highlight it anymore. Just start doing what you need to do.
I would say that many people see different things, and but it's on you that what impacts you. Few people say that start with nervous. They'll tell your audience that you're nervous, and they will
Hmm.
cheer you up. So but it's on you that what is working for you. Do you want to declare that and then make yourself confidence that inform your audience that they should be cheering you, and then you feel comfortable? Or you want to cover it up and look confident so that you don't let them feel that you're nervous, and you also make yourself believe that you are confident. So there are two ways, and many people think deliver many things and says many things, but you should be analyzing yourself that what is working for you.
Yeah. I think the proper preparation keeps you from
Yes.
being a little nervous too.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
practicing, whether it's in your mind or mirror or recording it or just talking to someone else, even if you're not giving your speech and you're talking to someone, you say, hey, I'm going to give this talk about this is how I'm going to talk about it, and you just have a conversation with them. Oftentimes that shows, for me anyway, some of the problems with your speech, to where you go, oh, okay, I need to explain this a little better, or I can take this part out, because if I'm just boring this person, that's just one person I'm talking to, I don't want to bore a crowd of people. So
Yes, yes,
yeah.
that's right. Even you can gather your family members and deliver the topics in front of them, and they will give you the feedback that what you can do better, where you need to stretch, where you need to focus and don't focus that much. So you should see the possibility that where you can get the feedback, where you can deliver your topics, and where you'll have the chance to improve yourself and to get your topic prepared.
Yeah, I think it also helps that if you can have times where you're talking in front of people, but it's not really looked at as a speech, but and it's not very long. Like if you're introducing someone that's talking, that's good, because you've got one thing you need to do and it only takes a little bit of time. Or if you have, in the military they would call them hip pocket classes, where you would, if we were sitting there and we were waiting for something, which a lot of the military is the hurry up and wait, where they'll say, okay, y'all do some classes about something. So you have something that you do that deals with your job in the military or something, and you have a little 5-minute talk about it to this group. That if you can do things like that, you don't have to be nervous about it in advance, because you don't know what's going to happen, and it's a topic you already know about, and it's people you already know, and you're just having a conversation with them. that helps get the practice in for when you do talk to people that you don't know. But one of
Yeah.
the big things that helps is just knowing that they're just people. So, I mean,
Yes.
chances are you could be talking to people that if they were giving a speech wouldn't do better than you, or wouldn't give a speech as good as you're giving. So I like the
Yes.
confidence
Right.
through practice.
Confidence is main thing that you just should practice, because major thing is practicing only, because then only you'll feel confident about yourself, and then you can deliver the, even whatever you have prepared. If you're confident, you can deliver better than that. So obviously, by knowing your audience, by practicing your topics, and by knowing in and out about the things that there are, and about the topics, about the people, about the environment that you are going through, everything make difference.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Well, I know you had a certain amount of time to talk and you didn't want to go over it. So, is there a way that people can follow what you're doing, or do you have any social media links that people can connect with you on?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. So basically, I have chosen my platform of LinkedIn to publish my article, to engage with the audience, and to connect with people. And there are other people which are like TopMate and Preplace, where they can book me. But majorly, where I present myself as LinkedIn. So by the name of Pratibha Tiwari, you can find me on LinkedIn. And if you need any kind of help, or anyone need any kind of help or suggestions for their career, for their interviews, jobs, etc., they can reach out to me. I would be really happy to help. And for suggestions, and for the advice that I want people to understand, is that whatever you do, just practice it and make yourself uh, going into deeper knowledge. So like firstly, you have to analyze about your strength, that where you want to go, what do you want to do, understand about yourself, and then understand the environment and the topics. So considering your career, whatever you are doing or going to choose in the terms of studies or in terms of job, it's not interest you, so that you have the interest to work upon these topics, and then you can explore by going deeper into the knowledge. If it is public speaking, choose the interesting topic first, that what interests you, and then deliver, so that you will have the confidence to do it more. And same with students. So whatever, like, is the class you're studying, or whatever the career path you're going to choose, take advice. So I think that one of the major thing that works, because we generally students are sometimes get immature and we not know many things. So you should always be open to take the advice and suggestions from people who are experienced, who have the knowledge, and have do have some experience related to that. It will open up your mind. It's not necessary that you do it what they say, but it will open your mind and will widen up your knowledge, so that you can take your best decision by yourself. So best thing, that get the feedback, take advice and suggestions.
Yes, good advice. Good advice. I have your LinkedIn link that will be in the show notes if people want to get it from there. The link I have is a huge link, so maybe I'll see if I can get one that is a little bit shorter, but it's like a 3 or 4 line link. But
Yeah,
I know it goes to where it needs to go.
yeah, sure. I even share with you, then you can add it to that.
Okay,
I'll
sounds
share the
good.
shorter link here.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and your conversation as well as your advice. Um, I will
Yeah.
talk to you on the other side of this musical exit if you're good with that.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to this show, and it was great talking to you.
All right. Thanks. I'll talk to you
Right.
on the other side of this.